Pag-asa atin ring makikita sa pagsubok, tayo ay di matitibag. Panalangin ay aabot hanggang sa langit. Paghilom ay ating makakamit. Ayaw nagkabalaka, wag ka naging usara sa problemang gisagubang kuyog ta. Together we will pray as one. Green banners lift up high till it's rising of the sun. No matter where you are in the world, a Zion's prayer will forever be loudly heard. I will continue, oh my God, to do all my actions for the love of you, for the love of you, for the love of you, for the love of you. Together we will pray as one. Green banners lift up high till it's rising of the sun. No matter where you are in the world, Zion's prayer will forever be loudly heard. Together we will pray as one. Green banners lift up high till it's rising of the sun. No matter where you are in the world, the silence where you will forever be loudly heard. With Jesus in our hearts forever.
Let me be the change I want to see, to do with strength and wisdom all that needs to be done, and become the hope that I can be. Set me free from my fears and hesitation. Resurrection to liberty. Fill me with spirit to face the challenge I long to see. Today I start the change I want to see. Even if I'm not the light, I can be a spark. Service and communion. Let us start the change we want to see. The change that begins in me. Today I start the change I want to see. Even if I'm not the light, I can be the star. Service and communion. Let us start the change we want to see. The change that begins in me. Jesus in us. Jesus in Mayang magiliw, pelas na silangan, alalang ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ng pag-ibig, sa manlulupig, di ka masisi. Sa lahat mundong sisimulan, sa langit mamahaw, may nilagang tulat, awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kisap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na natininig. Ang bituin ng araw niya kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng ating pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya ng may makakit. Ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world. Albert Einstein's words would be my best message for the Art Lecture Series of the Arts and Culture Center of La Salle University under the stewardship of Mr. Philemon Blanco and Mr. Mark Len Tejada. The pandemic is challenging us to reimagine the world onwards. They call it the new norm. How can art shape or influence the forming of the new norm? What is nice with the arts over the years is that it is limitless in terms of ideas. That is why it's called imagination. Our imagination can bring out the best in us. How can film change the world? How can a poem change a life? How can a song move a heart to love, especially those in the margins? How can a painting inspire leaders of government? And many other expressions. As we bring out our best in whatever expressions we want to use, let us also use this for a good cause for humanity. On behalf of the De La Salle Brothers and the La Sallean family in Ozami City, I welcome you all to Art Lectura 2020. Leave Jesus in our hearts forever. Animo La Salle.
Magandang hapon po sa lahat. Good afternoon. And welcome to the fifth series of Arte Lectura. Arte Lectura is an online arts lecture series which aims to provide supplemental activities for students of the special program in the arts for junior high school, contemporary arts from the regions for senior high school, and art appreciation for college or university students. This is a project of the Teatro Gindigan and the Arts and Culture Center of La Salle University. Arte Lectura is supported by the National Commission for Culture and the Arts, or NCCA. We have invited outstanding artists who are really practitioners in their own field to share their knowledge and skills to us. To help us in today's program, please welcome our anchor, Mr. Ted Najantakan, the co-artistic director of Teatro Gindigan and the director of Educational and Digital Media Services, or EDMST.
Thank you very much, Sir Philemon. Welcome back, everyone, especially to our virtual audience. We are on our fifth Wednesday already of providing supplemental lessons on various arts disciplines. Here at La Salle University, we provide you various platforms to experience total human formation.
That is corrected. La Salle University continues to find modalities where we can continue to serve the training needs in culture and arts among Lasallians and non-Lasallians in this time of the pandemic. We always lead in cultural and arts development in this part of the country. This is because we have a very supportive school administration who believes in the role of arts and culture in our society. Our thanks to our brother president, Brother Jose Marie L. Jimenez, FEC, our chancellor, Dr. LC L. Dahao, and our vice president for Lasallian Mission, Brother Boots Antolin is Alcodia. So, fifth Wednesday. So what are we waiting for, Ted? Please introduce now our resource person this afternoon.
Yes, you're right, Sir Philemon. It's our fifth. So what are we waiting? Our speaker for this afternoon is one of the prides of Mindanao. Maan is a multi-awarded singer, songwriter, guitarist, and percussionist from Davao City. She has independently produced her albums Sinag and Sayaw. She won Grand Champion in Cadayawan Festival's Tunog Mindanao World Music Competition in 2011 and 2013. As a music theater artist, she had performed in three major cities in India as part of Asian Women's Festival supported by the National Commission for Culture and the Arts. Currently, she performs solo in and out of town or with the group Mibuyan. She is the singer of the famous song Sayaw. Our resource speaker is the award-winning composer from Davao City, Miss Maan Chua.
Hi Ted, hi everyone. Good afternoon. Kamusta kayo?
Okay lang po, Miss Maan. How are you there?
Okay lang.
Miss Maan, saan ka ngayon? Davao or somewhere Luzon?
Davao lang, Davao.
Davao, Davao, right? Kumusta? Nandyan ba si kapatid na Ulysses dyan? Kumusta ang bagyo? May bagyo ba?
Ay, wala. Masyadong mainit
Wala.
ngayon.
Oh, yun nga eh. Mainit rin dito sa bandang Ozamis. So, Miss Maan, maybe before we will go straight to your lecture, probably we can share or how's our journey in terms of music in Mindanao, or paano kayo nag-start as a singer-songwriter?
Well, I started when I was siguro mga 16 or 17 years old. I started as a parang folk singer. So I used to play 4 or 5 nights a week when I was younger. And then
Wow.
I do gigs in and out of town. Yeah, tapos I'm shuffling I shuffle school and work kasi morning school and then ang work is gabi. So I still manage somehow, and then fast forward I met the group Mebuyan, and that particular group opened doors for me to find my way into the music that I want to do, because Mebuyan basically does songs about culture, nature, women, and other social issues, mga ganon.
Right,
So
right.
yeah, they opened so many doors for me, and then until it led me to songwriting, and then writing the songs that I write now.
Great, great. So in as part of your bio, it says there music theater artist. So ano ba? Theater or music first or parang sabay na siya na in-explore mo?
Actually music first, and then the theater came afterwards, although I did not have any tawag nito, formal training in theater, but I was forced to do theater because we had this production before, yung Earth Music Foundation. Salima ang title. Since I was the youngest in the group, I had to portray a 14-year-old child who's a survivor of the war in Pikit. So yun yung naging role ko. I was Salima in the play, which was a which was
Oh,
the lead role.
lead role, taking the title. Oh, galing naman, 'di ba? And then Miss Maan, ano naman tong Tunog Mindanao? Can you share a bit about your journey in Tunog Mindanao?
Tunog Mindanao is a world music competition during the Kadayawan season here in Davao, and it's open to Mindanao, to all Mindanao residents, ganon. So I started joining competitions for me to be inspired to write songs, 'di ba? Kasi there's competition, and then there's prize money. So you'll be inspired to write songs talaga. And siguro out of 7 times that I joined, I was able to win 5 times. Although hindi naman first yun lahat. Oo.
Wow.
So uh, so the compilations of the song that I've written, although win or lose, it eventually became an album na.
Nice. 'Di ba? Out of 7, 5. Grabe, Miss Maan. Uh, let's talk about a bit about the genre. So the kind of music that you're doing right now is, I believe, related. You've mentioned it. Can you share a bit more?
Um, it's more world music, not really ethnic, but a fusion of ethnic and pop siguro. So it's more folk, world music nga tang tawag nila, more or
World
less,
music,
di ba?
'di ba? World
So
music.
I think my music was inspired by my peers also, because I was lucky enough to be in the company of very good musicians and songwriters like sina Joey Ayala, sina Gary Granada, and then Buyan, and then I was exposed to many other artists as well. So it helped me find my genre in music na rin.
So is it about the exposures or nasa family din? I mean, in the family you're also singers or kind of
Sa family actually, both mother and father side na grandparents are classical pianists, but I never had the privilege of learning how to play the piano or read and write notes. Although we have lots of collections of yung mga plaka, yung mga vinyl. So we have around 800 pieces. So I grew up listening to different kinds of music, from classics to instrumentals to mga ganon. So I,
great.
I, I was exposed. Although sa family, wala talagang um, musician na like what I do, who does music for a living.
Great, great, great. So, before we'll go to your lecture video, may pasample ba dyan? Na kahit,
Sure,
di
why
ba?
not? Para naman magising kayo, kasi baka makatulog kayo sa lecture ko. Might as
Oh,
well wake you up with a song.
yes. Great, great.
Yeah, this song is entitled Sari Manok. I wrote this in 2013, 2014. nagsasaluhan ng lahat. Ibong makulay sa lilim ng iyong mga pakpak, humihimlay ang lupang sagana sa biyaya. Ako naway maging biyaya sa aking kapwa. Sari manok, sari manok, sari manok. Oh, 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 oh. Sari manok, sari manok, sari manok. Oh, 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 oh. Ibong sagana, yaman ng kultura, manatili nawa kasaysayan ng ating mga kanununuan. Ibong payapa, salamat sa iyong kalinga, liwanag ng kapayapaan, tanglaw sa pagsibol ng bagong buwan. Ako naway maging liwanag ng kapayapaan. Sari manok, sari manok, sari manok. Oh, 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 oh. Sari manok, sari manok, sari manok. Oh, 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 oh.
Wow!
Thank you so much.
Ba? So yung mga Miss Maan, mga students mo doon nagko-comment. Students mo sa musikani mo or sa mga lectures mo dito before Lasal University.
Ay, hello everyone! Ayan, nabasa ko iba. Sari manok. Oo.
Oo.
Thank you
Anyway,
for watching. Invite more friends to watch para masaya tayo.
Anyway, Miss Maan, I will not let our virtual audience wait too long for your lecture. I'll give the virtual floor to you now.
Okay, thank you. I think some of you have already seen my or have been in my lectures before. This is a follow-up of that one. I hope you'd learn from this, although it's very basic, but it has helped me a lot in my songwriting as well. So enjoy the videos and hope you learn something. See you later for the Q&As.
Singer-songwriter
And
from
more sample.
I've been performing since year 2000. I've been writing songs since 2004. Basically, I'm a full-time musician. Today, I'll be sharing with you 2 songwriting techniques that I've learned from 2 good friends. Before I'll start with the exercises and the workshop proper, I'd like to share with you some of the things you do not know about me, because this might somehow inspire you to write songs despite your limitations in terms of music. Number 1, I do not have a degree in music, meaning I haven't studied or I don't have an academic background in music, meaning I cannot read and write notes. And yes, you heard me right. Di pa ako marunong magbasa at magsulat ng nota. And number 2, I'm a self-taught guitar player, meaning I barely know the name of the chords that I play because my playing is also very limited. So what I do, when I find a good chord and I don't know the name, I'll write them in numbers or in tabs. Ewan ko lang kung tabs pa rin ba ang tawag ngayon kasi we're too high-tech. It's easy to learn online already kasi everything is on social media. So you might be asking, why am I telling you things that I do not know about music? And you might be asking, how will I be able to teach songwriting to you if I don't even know the basics? That's why I'm here, because I'll be teaching you based on my experience. That experience and exercises help me write songs and jingles, and I've written 3 albums already, maybe 50 other songs, jingles, and commissioned work by using the same techniques without even knowing how to read or write notes. So I hope it would spark an inspiration to you to be able to write songs the way I do, especially if you did not have the privilege of getting a degree in music or lessons in music. But if you already know how to read and write notes, then good for you, because hindi ko kaya yon. So enough of the chika, and let's start writing. And we'll start with this first exercise I'll be teaching you, which I learned from Sir Gary Ganada. Ngayong pandemya, stay at home lang muna. Iwas-iwas sa gala, palakasin resistensya. Tumulong sa bahay, para relax si nanay. Maglaba, magluto, linis at pilo. Sa gitna ng pandemya, puno pa rin ang pag-asa. Basta't sama-sama at nagkakaisa, alagahan ng buhay. Stay inside your bahay. Keep safe, be healthy, and live happily. Okay ba yun? Kayo naman, ginawa ko naman ngayon, same words ng Bahay Kubo. Pinalitan ko lang yung tono. Bahay Kubo, kahit munti, ang halaman doon ay sari-sari. Singkamas at talong, sigarilyas at mani. Sitaw, pataw, patani. Kundol, patola, upot, kalabasa, at saka mayroon pang labanos, mustasa. Sibuyas, kamatis, bawang at luya. Sa paligid-ligid ay maraming linga. Ngayong pandemya, stay at home lang muna. Iwas-iwas sa gala, palakasin resistensya. Ulong sa bahay, para relax si nanay. Maglaba, magluto, linis at pilo. Sa gitna ng pandemya, puno pa rin ng pag-asa. Basta't sama-sama at nagkakaisa. Palagahan ng buhay, stay inside your bahay. Keep safe, be healthy, and live happily. So you've heard our new song na Bahay Kubo. Another sample is a song from our album, Mga Kwentong Bata. Because I also have the band Mebuyan. So we had this whole album dedicated to children, tas based on mga children's rhymes, children's songs. So ito yung sa mga sample. This song was written by, I think, Gauss and Gijay. Bituin ba familiar? So, ganun lang yan. There's so many possibilities by using that kind of technique or exercise. So you can start with simple songs muna if you haven't really written a song yet. Kasi that way, you have a structure na pwede niyong sundan para when you start writing, meron agad kayong output and you won't have a hard time thinking so much on what to do kasi nga, yun may structure na kayo. So you can start from that. Moving on, parang outfit ko, nag-move on din, nag-change costume. Anyway, this next technique I've learned from Mr. Joey Ayala. It's called Salundiwa. It's also known as mind mapping, thought catcher, or thought web. This technique I've been using for the longest time. It worked well for me. It helped me organize my thoughts well. It's like nailing your concept because you have one core idea to start with and then branch it out lang para mas ma-expound mo yung core mo into something related to that central idea. So if you check my slide, Salundiwa. Diwa, from the root word diwa, meaning essence, thought, reason. And then salo, Salundiwa, salo. Salo is to catch. So you need to catch those ideas. So in general, it's thought catcher or thought web. So if you check the illustration, you'll see. So you can draw a circle first, and after you draw a circle, you put a word in the middle or a possible title. Pwedeng word, pwedeng symbol. Pero sa word muna tayo. Like for example, ilaw. What other words can you relate to ilaw? So you put branches on it, 8 to 10 branches, and you think as many possibilities as you can related to that central idea. So for example, ilaw, pwede siyang liwanag, sinag, kislap, kutitap. So araw, buwan, or between, anything that gives light, you can put on it. So by doing that alone, you expounded your one word into many other words related to that central idea. Another one is you can use a symbol. I use this technique all the time when I write songs because it worked well for me. It helped me organize my thought more and my like titles kasi it's so hard. It's still hard for me to write songs kahit even if I've been writing for the past 10-15 years, especially when I do commissioned works. Like for example, the latest one I did was last month. The idea was about sights and sounds. So I also put it into illustration. I'll show you my notebook, aking kodigo. Ayan o. So as you can see, may nakalagay na sight. Yan, may mata, lantaw, and sound, paminawon. Kasi yung kantang ginawa ko, Bisaya. So it's basically talking about the beauty of Mindanao kasi it was used for the IP month. So I'll sing to you the sample of my output for that song. When I wrote this song, I did not use my guitar. Normally, I just record the vocals in my phone. Kasi normally when I start writing songs, I start with the lyrics because I'm having a hard time writing the lyrics and I think too much for my lyrics because I need to follow a certain topic or title. So after I did the Salundiwa na concept, so this was the lyrics that I came up with. So I'll sing to you the refrain and chorus na lang. Kay kita gihiusa sa atong kultura, kita gihiusa sa atong gugma, kita gihiusa sa tunhay nga kalinaw, dawaton kabaguhan nga kadasig ang hinagiban. La 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 lantaw-lantawon, paminaw-minawon, kadasig ipadayon, aron magmalambuon, magkahiusa kadabaw nun, isig kami danawon. So, ayun.
So I hope you learned something. I just want to add the ay sa first part ng video ko, sa I haven't explained it properly what the exercise was. So basically it was looking for one familiar song, and then you try to change the lyrics and then the music. What I did was I started with we used the song Bahay Kubo because more or less everybody knows the song already. So it's best if you have like your pens or paper, then you can write down Bahay Kubo. So at least if you have the lyrics of Bahay Kubo and you know the tune of Bahay Kubo, then you can start creating a song from that particular song. Although it's also possible to use other songs as your template for that particular exercise. But then since Bahay Kubo is a short song and more or less everybody knows the song, so I used it as an example. So with my example first, same lyrics muna, and then we just change the tune of the song based on the lyrics. That's exercise A. Exercise B, same tune of Bahay Kubo, but we just change the lyrics. Yun yung exercise 2. And then since exercise 1 and exercise 2, you have new lyrics and new music. So if you combine them, so exercise 3, you have a new song already. So yun yung exercise doon. I used to practice that because before it's so hard to think of the lyrics or the music first. So it's better to have a template using one familiar song that's close to you or genre na gusto mo. And then from there, you'd be able to explore that particular structure into creating a new song. So ganun lang yan siya. I hope it wasn't so confusing to explain, but we use that all the time. I use it all the time. Especially when I was still starting to write. And then I also evolved in using Salundiwa. I've been to siguro more than 2 or 3 workshops of Joey Ayala, and I've been to several workshops also. But then this particular technique helped me a lot. That's why I'm sharing it to you because it worked well for me. Not only that you'd be able to use that particular technique in songwriting, but it's good in organizing your thoughts or taking down notes or sparking more creativity because it makes you more focused on what you really want to write or to do. So ayon. So later on, I'll show you the slides that I was explaining earlier whenever you're ready. So, ayan, yun. Kanina, Bahay Kubo, same words, tapos di-change ang tono. So, B, same tune, gi-change lang ang word. So, if you notice, same pa rin yung structure. Four lines, 4 stanzas pa rin siya, four short stanzas, and then gi-change ko lang yung lyrics. Next slide, please. So yung salundiwa, coming from the word diwa, essence, thought, or reason. Salo is to catch. So basically, it's called thought catcher or thought web. And then mind mapping, this was the term popularized by an English author named Tony Buzan, which was inspired by the techniques used by Leonardo da Vinci, Albert Einstein, and Joseph Novak, which they called it concept mapping techniques. So yan yung illustration natin when, as I said earlier, na you draw a circle and then you put your idea in the middle kung ano yung gusto mong title, for example. So yan, may sample, ilaw ang ating subject, ilaw, and then you need to choose different words related to ilaw. So example, liwanag, sinag, kislap, and other things that brings light to you or whatever. That's not only you can use words, you can also use symbols. Example, heart. Oh, what other things can you think about when you see heart or if you think about love? So you write them down as well. You can write either symbols or words to be able to expound them in objects or other images. If you have a hard time writing long words, and you can write different kinds of symbols na lang para to take down notes, for example. So you can write them in symbols. So yun, basically when you start songwriting using Salundiwa, it's used to organize thoughts or note taking, to structure your information effectively. Kasi by using that kind of technique, it's easier for you to organize your thoughts and be straightforward with the things that you really want to put in. So it would also inspire creativity because it's easier for you now to write down your thoughts using that technique. And I hope I have somehow inspired you to be creative and maybe to start writing songs, despite our uh, um, shortcomings in terms of experience or opportunities. Just keep on writing because my songs naman didn't go famous in just one click of a hand or in just 1 year. Siguro my song Itajak became popular 10 years after because it was included in Brillante Mendoza's movie entitled Mindanao, which was shown 2018 or 2019. So don't get discouraged if your song or your poem or your compositions don't get recognized because sometimes they're just waiting for the right time, the right moment. Like my song Itajak na I've written in 2009, and then it was popularized by Mr. Brillante Mendoza in his movie Mindanao, starring Miss Judy Ann Santos last year. And then also my song Sayaw, I wrote in 2013, but then it became famous now because of NCCA's dance exchange headed by Miss Shirley Halili Cruz, because they liked the song for their dance program, so they were able to use the song, and then I was able to share the song to as many Mindanaoans or to as many people as I can. So ayun.
Wow naman, Miss Maan. A very amazing one. Di ba na-excite ako, no? Maybe it's not too maybe it's too late for me to become a songwriter, di ba?
Oh, it's never too late. Never too late yun. Okay,
But you don't wanna hear me sing.
sample, sample.
Magbabagyo. Anyway, Miss Maan, naman, napaka-humble ng beginning, di ba? Hindi marunong, ano pa ngayon, hindi marunong magbasa ng nota, pero tingnan mo ngayon, di ba, award-winning. Anyway, thank you very much, Miss Maan. I would like to remind our audience, I know you have a lot of questions, so please start typing your questions now in the comment section below, and we will feed them on screen for Miss Maan to answer. While we are waiting for their questions, rinig na rinig ko, ibigay ng ibang sample si Miss Maan.
Sige, sige. Sige. While waiting for your questions. Pero Ted, ha, it's never too late to write music kasi the good thing with music, wala siyang expiry, di ba? Even if you're
Yeah,
80, 90 years old, you can still write songs and sing those songs.
you'll be my mentor then.
Diba?
Sige, let's welcome Miss.
Mindanao, 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 Mindanao. Ang mga paa, iwagayway, ang mga kamay, papuri sa kalangitan, araw, buwan at kalikasan. Itadyak ang mga paa, iwagayway, ang mga kamay, papuri sa kalangitan, araw, buwan at kalikasan. Hanapin ang bukal ng buhay, diligan ang lupa, ang uhaw sa kaalaman, lumipad sa langit ng kamalayan, tuklasin ang tunay na kalayaan. Itadyak ang mga paa, iwalayway ang mga kamay, papuri sa kalangitan, araw, buwan at kalikasan. Itadyak ang mga paa, iwagayway ang mga kamay, papuri sa kalangitan, araw, buwan at kalikasan. Mindanao, 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 lumingon sa mga yapak ng tribo. Pakinggan mga pangaral nito, awitin mga himig ng kalikasan, sumabay sa itak ng kasaysayan. Itadyak ang mga paa, iwagayway ang mga kamay, papuri sa kalangitan, araw, buwan at kalikasan. Itadyak ang mga paa, iwagayway ang mga kamay, papuri sa kalangitan, araw, buwan at kalikasan. Iguhit sa mga ulap ng kaisipan, mga pahina tiyuktorang nakaraan. Damhin ang dugong tumataloy sa kapungatan, tungo sa ilog ng lupang kinagisnaan. Itadyak ang mga paa, iwagayway ang mga kamay, papuri sa kalangitan, araw, buwan at kalikasan. Itadyak ang mga paa, iwagayway ang mga kamay, papuri sa kalangitan, araw, buwan at kalikasan. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed that.
Oh, very alam ko yan, di ba? Miss Maan,
Diba?
how was the writing of the song? I mean, paano mo siya na-conceptualize, or is it a commissioned one?
It's actually my entry sa Tunog Mindanao. It was the second time that I joined Tunog. Actually, the first song I wrote for that particular contest in 2009 I dumped it entirely kasi hindi ko nagustuhan yung kantang sinulat ko. So siguro mga a week before deadline, I was able to write it at Jack na parang biglaan lang din. Although this song won second place lang, but I was really happy to be able to place in the competition because I did not expect anything. I did not expect winning in the competition. But I'm just happy because the song this particular song brought me to places.
Wow, di ba? Itajak and then it brought you to different places. Right, right.
Oo.
So we have a question here from Miss Phyllis Lay. She was our former vice president for La Salle Mission. Now she's one of our guidance counselors in our career and counseling center. So we have
Mm-mm.
here, what are the benefits of writing songs in terms of promoting well-being?
You know what? Siguro because it's been my practice to write songs that are positive and inspiring. It had been my calling na to give out good vibes ba. Um and and um and writing songs about joy, peace, and everything positive would somehow not only uplift our well-being, but if we radiate it to others as well, others will feel the joy of the song. So I think it would somehow help our well-being, especially now of in time of this pandemic. People are more visual and auditory. So it's I think music plays a very big role in promoting well-being. That's why songwriters also have a very big tawag nito, very big responsibility in writing songs and writing songs that would either inspire or na gano'n. So it's best to write something positive when writing a song.
Thank you for that, Miss Maan, no? Literally and with all of the honesty, nakasmile ako while you're singing. Oh my God, di
Oo.
ba? So we have here a question from Sir Mark. Sir Mark is our virtual is SM for this
Oo.
lectura. A frustrated singer then and songwriter.
Mm.
Can you share some tips how to write lyrics, especially those who are having problems expressing their thoughts into words?
You know what? When you want to write a song kasi, be true to your feelings. Sometimes, no, most of the time, wala naman talagang rule in songwriting. What's important is you'd be able to express yourself. Like me, when I started my first album, it all started from hugot because siguro I was depressed from a bad breakup, and then I was able to write 8 songs in 1 week. So ganun
Wow!
lang. So that's one album already. Ang ano lang is you make an outlet of that very strong feeling, either happy or sad, kasi it would still come out something beautiful. Um you don't have to write very wonderful words na murag highfalutin kaayo. You just have to be true to yourself, kasi if you write from the heart, um kung if you project that to your audience or to somebody else, they would feel that emotion, 'di ba?
Okay.
So just write your feelings. Wala namang rules in writing. Just write what you want to write. Okay lang 'yan, as long as you express your feeling, even if it's like poetry. Poetry can be a song already. So sulat lang, walang rules.
Yeah, thank you, Malang Rules. You've mentioned about poetry. In our previous Art Lectura episode,
Hmm.
we had some screenwriting with, I mean, Sir X, I believe. He made mention about trying to contrast your writing from your feelings. Do you also
Hmm.
do that way, or like if you are brokenhearted, you write brokenhearted songs or hugot songs,
Hmm.
or is it a contrast or
There's an option kasi depending on how you want to do your approach. Kasi for example, I wrote a very sad song, but the title was Happy Thoughts. May mga ganon. So it can be contrasting, contradicting, but then it's not far from your initial idea. So there's ano marami naman kasing possibilities in writing a song. Oo. So you can use poetry. Actually, I've had a collab with a writer, and then I use her poems and then make a song out of it. That's also a nice collaboration if you want,
Yes,
di ba? Kasi
yes.
the writer might have a different feeling dun sa sulat niya, pero the songwriter might also have a different feeling. Example, sad yung poem, and then the songwriter siguro wanted to do something inspiring, so made a happy song. So that's also a good collaboration.
Diba? At least an artist can work collaboratively, though they have different disciplines. So we have here from Glint Siete. Ano po ba
Mm.
ang tamang steps sa pagsulat ng kanta? Oh, steps.
Yan, tama
Or
steps.
techniques
Yun nga,
maybe.
since there are no rules really in writing songs, but you can start with the techniques that I've given you. Kasi if you're confused, kung anong unahin mo, ang music ba or ang lyrics? So maybe you can use the Bahay Kubo system, and then maybe you're comfortable changing the lyrics or changing the words. So you can use that particular technique. Or if you think you know what you wanted, but then you're not very organized with your thoughts, and then you can use the salundiwa to be able to organize your thoughts and be able to write your song beautifully. And then from there you can think of writing your tune or your melody, and then just choose something that would work that would be parang comfortable for you to write a song. If your strength is writing the music, maybe you can write the music first, or if your strength is writing the lyrics, then you can write the lyrics first.
Yes,
Was I able to answer your question?
I believe Glint is listening right now for that question. Oh, we have here from Archie. Archie is one of our alumni in Teatro Gindigan, and he's in our music department. When you write a song, do you also consider your possible audience? Oh, the who.
um Siguro I did not care much about the possible audience. But then since I write consciously, meaning it's a big responsibility eh. So my advocacy had been, if not advocacy, my practice is to write songs that are inspiring and positive. So meaning kahit sinong audience, if if they want to listen to it, then they can listen to it. Basta I'll just write songs that inspire. I'll just write songs that are good vibes and happy. And then it's up to the one accepting it. If that person wants to be uplifted or wants to be happy listening to that particular song. But I've made my message clear lang na I just want everything to be happy with the songs that I write. That's why when I write my lyrics, I don't put any negative word on it. Siguro you're not conscious about it, but me I write consciously. So if you go through all the lyrics of my song, wala kang mahanap na negative word doon.
Wow. Oh, diba? So while we are still waiting for another question, maybe we can hear another Pampa goodbye.
Goodbye. Ano ba kailangan?
Pampa inspire from Miss
Yes.
Ma. Let's welcome once again Miss Ma.
This next song is entitled Yaman Kayamanan. Anong uri ng kayamanan ang nais mong matamo? Ito ba'y ba'y mababaw o may lalim na di matanto? Ano nga ba ang sukatan ng yaman ng isang tao? Ikaw lang ang may alam ng kasagutan nito. Maraming uri ng kayamanan ng maaaring makamtan. May nahahawakan na tibulman, may sinusuot, may sinasakyan, may lumilipad, pinagmamasdan, may lumalangoy, pinag-aagawan, may hinubukay, may binabayaran. O yaman, kayamanan, malayang kaisipan. Yaman, kayamanan, tamang kaalaman. Yaman, kayamanan, malayang kamalayan. Mayaman, kayamanan, mapayapang katauhan. May kayamanang nararamdaman, hinahagkan, hinaalagaan, pinapasalamatan, pinamamahagi, may hinihingi, may pinupunla, may nililikha, pinapalaganap, may kumikislap, may dinatanim, may kinikimkim, may pinipita, may inaaksaya, may pinananali, pinamahal, tinatagil, inuluwal, tinatagoy, lalantad, pinapangakoy naangan, sinusulat, kinakahon, pinagkakalat, tinatalon, tinitimbang, tumatanda, sinisilang, pinapakaya, sinasamba, at marami pang iba. Oh, yaman, kayamanan, malayang kaisipan. Yaman, kayamanan, tamang kaalaman. Yaman, kayamanan, malayang kamalayan. Mayaman, kayamanan, mapayapang katauhan. Anong uri ng kayamanan ang pinanghahawakan mo? Ito ba'y mababaw o may lalim na di matanto? Ano nga ba ang sukatan ng yaman ng isang tao? Ikaw lang ang may alam ng kasagutan nito. Oh, yaman, kayamanan, malayang kaisipan. Yaman, kayamanan, tamang kaalaman. Yaman, kayamanan, malayang kamalayan. Mayaman, kayamanan, mapayapa. Oh, yaman, kayamanan, malayang kaisipan. Yaman, kayamanan, tamang kaalaman. Yaman, kayamanan, malayang kamalayan. Mayaman, kayamanan, mapayapang katauhan. Thank you.
Yay! Yay! Grabe! Your students in GDTA, Graduate Diploma in Teaching the Arts, remember them? They're flooding with
Hello,
And
mga
your
momster. I really had so much fun during our workshop.
see, they're flooding with different.
Bubbly group and masyado silang cool group. Oo.
Right. Oh, we have Alfred here. I believe Alfred is one of the participants during Musikalimo, of which you also judged the event and you did workshop also. Do you have references in making a tune? How will you make a tune if you've written first the lyrics?
I think maybe because my strength is the tono is making the music. So since I'm having a hard time writing the lyrics, I write the lyrics first because the tono I can finish in a day or two only. References parang maybe because I've been writing so many songs already. So basically I don't need some references already. Sometimes if example in terms of clients, if they want a certain peg, then they can give me a peg of the song. Then I can maybe work out something from that given peg. But more or less when I write my lyrics, it just comes to me eh. Kaya sometimes I don't I don't use my guitar in writing the music. I just sing it in my phone. May tono na magpasok sa akin. I just get my recorder, record my voice, and then I just expound on that. So that's why when you're practicing it for a long time, sometimes it's easier for you for the music to come to you na lang. So sometimes just need to sing it on your phone kasi may technology na naman eh.
Thank you for that, Miss Maan. Right, 'di ba? May mga basic techniques na mga sinabi si Miss Maan. Miss Maan, we are wrapping it up because we don't have much time. I know we still have a lot of questions coming from the audience, but maybe we can from you, Miss Maan, any final challenges to our aspiring writers or like few words to them?
Mm. Thank you so much for having me. Of course, thank you for having me, Art Electura. Thank you, Lasal. Thank you, Philemon. Thank you, NCCA, for having me. And sa mga audience na nanonood, I hope you just feel inspired with writing. Even if you don't write songs really, but these techniques kasi can be used, maybe used to write sample poems or organizing your thoughts. It's a very good practice for you to write as well, and it's a very good outlet. I hope you get inspired to write and to make music. Because as we know, music is the parang food for the soul, 'di ba? Parang music also music knows no boundaries. So it somehow connects people. We connect music connects us to the earth or the heavens or wherever. So I hope you find that particular light in writing, and when you're inspired, you also inspire others that listen to your music as well.
Thank you, Miss Maan. Thank you very much, everyone, especially to our very interactive audience. It is always refreshing to learn new things during this quarantine period. We hope that we will breed new songwriters in the city. And before we end today's session, let us welcome once again the Project Director of Art Lectura, Mr. Felimon Bonita Blanco.
Thank you, Ted. And of course, super thank you again, Miss Maan. It's
Okay, thank you,
always a
Felima.
pleasure to have you here in
The pleasure
Osamis.
is all mine. Thank you, thank you.
Do ngayon, virtual na lang, at least nadala ka pa rin namin dito sa
Lagi
Osamis.
ay,
So, cross fingers.
lagi. I miss the suman in
Cross fingers that we
Osamis.
can be here
Miss the
again.
pagsuman.
Yes, and the suman and the place, di ba? So
Lagi,
I hope that
lagi.
cross fingers we can be here again very soon after COVID.
Oo.
Sana matapos na to.
Lagi,
Okay, so again, thank you again to our live viewers na mga walang sawang nanonood sa atin. We invite you again next Wednesday for the 6th and final lecture on visual arts, this time with Michael Bacol. Again, another award-winning artist, a visual artist from Cagayan de Oro City. So, see you again next week.
See you next Wednesday. Stay safe always, everyone.
Bayan kong Pilipinas, bam bararam bam 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 bararam bam 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 bararam bam 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 bararam bam 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 bam. Magmula nung ako'y natutong umawi, naging makulay ang aking munting daigdig. Tila ilog pala ang pag-ibig, kung malalim damdaming pag-ibig. Kung umapaw ang kaluluwa tinig, ay sadyang nanginginig. Magmula nung ako'y natutong umawi, bawat sandali aking pilit mabalik. Ang himig na maituturing atin, mapupuri pagkat bukod tangi. Di marami ang di magsasabing eto na inyong dinggin. Kay ganda ng ating musika, kay ganda ng ating musika. Ito ay atin, sariling atin, at sa habang buhay awitin natin. Kay ganda ng ating musika, kay ganda ng ating musika. Ito ay atin, sariling atin. Magmula nung ako'y natutong umawi, nagkabuhay muli ang aking paligid. Ngayong batid ko na ang umibig, sa sariling tugtugin o himig. Sa isang makatay maririnig, mga titik nagsasabi. Kay ganda ng ating musika, kay ganda ng ating musika. Ito ay atin, sariling atin, at sa habang buhay awitin natin. Kay ganda ng ating musika, kay ganda ng ating musika. Ito ay atin, sariling atin, at sa habang buhay awitin natin. Kay ganda ng ating musika, kay ganda ng ating musika. Awitin natin, sariling atin. Kay ganda ng ating musika,